Hello everyone, this is Raptor's Blog Animation Bliss, and welcome to another animated news roundup series. So there's been a lot of animated news going on lately, and before I get into that, here are a few words for the channel. Alright Animaniacs, now let's get on the social media train. Want to chat with us in 100 words or less? Then check out our Twitter account. Want to chat with us within a group? Then check out our Facebook account. Want to get the lowdown on everything dealing with animation on this channel? Then check all of the above. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. So the first bit of news is that Disney is shutting down Blue Sky Studios, the same studio that was responsible for beloved movies like the Ice Age franchise and the Peanuts movie. And the reason for this is because of economic difficulties that resulted from the pandemic. The second bit of news is that Space Jam 2 faces some extreme controversy. One of the controversies is over Lola Bunny's new design, and the second controversy is regarding the removal of Pepe Le Pew from the movie. Now it's time for Thoughts for the Day, where I talk about my thoughts about each topic that's being discussed this week. So let's get started. So regarding about Blue Sky Studios shutting down, I'm actually pretty upset that Blue Sky Studios is shutting down because, as I mentioned before, it was responsible for creating a lot of great movies like the Ice Age franchise and the Peanuts movie. And I especially love the Peanuts movie, so I better do a review about that sometime down the line. But anyway, I am upset that Blue Sky Studios is shutting down because it at least offer another alternative to Disney's animation besides their main animation team and Pixar. And I like the fact that Blue Sky Studios was able to make other types of animation that's not so Disney. And the fact that they're closing down the studio because Disney was going through some economic problems because of the pandemic has got me really upset that we're not going to have another animation studio underneath Disney. So it does have me wondering about what's going to happen to all the movies that were underneath Blue Sky Studios, where they're going to go to. So the biggest one I'm concerned about is what's going to happen to the Peanuts movie. As I mentioned last year, Apple TV Plus had managed to pick up the rights to the Peanuts franchise, so it makes me wonder if the Peanuts movie is going to move to Apple TV Plus. I kind of hope that's not the case because that would mean I had to get another streaming service just to watch the Peanuts movie. I'm hoping that Disney can find a way to stream the Peanuts movie on their streaming channel, even though the Peanuts movie is technically not owned by Disney. So I hope that they're able to find some way to air these movies on their streaming platform Disney Plus to keep them alive in a lot of people's memories. And before we get into the controversy with Space Jam 2, I just want to talk about my thoughts about the recent photos that were leaked out for Space Jam 2 because I wasn't able to talk about these photos when they were first released, so let's talk about them. So the first photo that I wanted to talk about is this photo of LeBron James holding this electrical basketball. I think this looks really cool. You get to see LeBron James looking so cool as he has that electrical basketball in his hand. And I love the background as we see the Eiffel Tower in the background. So it makes me wonder if they're going around the world or something like that. So this image looks pretty cool. The second image is of LeBron James and possibly his son actually looking at Don Cheadle's character, and it seems like Don Cheadle's character is like explaining the virtual world that they're going to be in. So it makes me wonder if this movie is going to be more in the virtual reality, which is really interesting. The fact that Space Jam is going to take place in the virtual reality has got me really interested, and I like to see what they're going to do with this movie. But I love the background to this. It looks so colorful. I love the electronic look to the background, and it makes me really interested to see what this is all about. And then the next image that we have is Don Cheadle's character once again being behind LeBron James' son, I'm guessing, and just them looking at LeBron James as he's in his basketball uniform. So I do wonder what's going on with this image, but it looks really interesting. And of course the next image is of Bugs Bunny himself. It looks like he's going to be animated as a realistic kind of character. Well, he still looks like his regular self, like he still looks cartoony like he does in the cartoon series, except that he has more realistic looking fur. And I will admit that it's interesting, and I'm kind of split down the middle about this appearance. Like, on the one hand, I like the fact that Bugs Bunny still looks cartoonish and looks the way he does in the cartoon series. But on the other hand, I'm not sure if I'm feeling the whole realistic fur thing to Bugs Bunny. I mean, I do think it's interesting to look at, just seeing what Bugs Bunny would look like with realistic fur. But on the other hand, I was kind of hoping that they were going to go for that Tom and Jerry look that they had in the recent Tom and Jerry movie, where they had like cell shaded characters that look like they're 2D counterparts, and I was hoping that's what they were going to do with Bugs Bunny's character in this movie, like have him look more 2D but just cell shaded. So I was kind of hoping that was the case, but it looks like he's going to be fully CGI. So I don't know how I feel about that. I guess because I'm so used to the first movie being like 2D animated with the Looney Tune characters, and then you have the Looney Tune characters actually look like CGI in this one. So I'm not sure about this image, but you know, part of me is kind of amazed by how realistic looking Bugs Bunny looks, but on the other hand, I kind of wish he was in 2D animation like he was in the first movie. So those are my thoughts about that image. And then the last image here, and probably the most controversial, at least for you Lola Bunny fans, is we see Lola Bunny giving a high five to LeBron James. I actually like the look of this image, and I like Lola Bunny's new uniform. I think it fits her, and it looks pretty cool when she's high-fiving LeBron James in this photo. Now, I will get into more about the controversy about her new character design, but as far as I can see with this photo, I'm really enjoying it, so that's pretty cool. And that's all the photos that were released for Space Jam 2, and I actually like most of these photos. I think they look beautiful, and I can't wait to see this movie. But now let's get into the juicy details in this video, and that's about the controversies that started up because of this movie. So the first controversy is, of course, over Lola Bunny's new character design. And I noticed that a lot of people online were really upset about Lola Bunny's new character design. Like, she has a flatter chest. She's not as curvy as she was in the original design. And for me personally, I honestly don't have a problem with Lola Bunny's new character design because I think she looks like Lola Bunny. The only difference about her is that she has less curves around her body. But I still love her new appearance. And I think she looks like the same character we know and love from Space Jam. And I'm hoping that they actually portray her character really good in this film. Like, I hope they give her more of a personality. That's what I'm really looking forward to. I could care less about her design. I just care more about how she's going to be portrayed in this movie. So I'm hoping that Lola gets portrayed pretty well in this movie despite what her character design looks like. But personally, for me, I like her character design. And if you're a fan of Lola Bunny's original character design, that's fine. I do like her original character design, but I'm also okay with her design here. And now let's talk about the big controversy here is the removal of Pepe Le Pew. So you guys are probably wondering about why is Pepe Le Pew removed from this movie and what's going on with the controversy around him. Well, let me read this article to you guys. So this little paragraph is about a deleted scene that was supposed to be in Space Jam 2, and let me read it to you guys and tell you guys why this particular scene was cut. So as stated from Deadline, Pepe was set to appear in a black and white Casablanca-like Rick Cafe sequence. Pepe, playing a bartender, starts hitting on a woman at the bar played by Santo. He begins kissing her arm, which she pulls back, then slamming Pepe into the chair next to hers. She then pours her drink on Pepe and slaps him hard, sending him spinning in a stool, which is then stopped by LeBron James' hand. James and Bugs Bunny are looking for Lola, and Pepe knows her whereabouts. Pepe then tells the guy that Penelope Cat has filed a restraining order against him. James makes a remark in the script that Pepe can't grab other Looney Tunes without their consent. So, how do I feel about this particular scene? Well, I can actually see why this scene was cut off. It's actually a little too edgy for little kids. But then here's where the big controversy comes in. Because of this scene, Warner Bros. Had decided to remove Pepe Le Pew from the movie, and not just from the Space Jam 2 movie, but from future projects involving the Looney Tunes. And to be honest, I do have a bit of a problem with them removing Pepe Le Pew from future Looney Tune projects. Like, with that scene, I can understand why that scene was removed. I think it's a bit too edgy, but at the same time, I do appreciate the fact that the scene was trying to say that, you know, rape is bad, you know, you shouldn't be doing this is your consequences. And this is also a problem with Pepe Le Pew's character over the years, is that he's being seen as sort of a rapist in some way, and at least this scene was trying to allude to that fact. But on the other hand, I don't think removing Pepe Le Pew is going to make things better. I just think that what they should have done to make Pepe Le Pew seem less offensive to the modern audience is try to tweak up his character a bit. Like, make him less offensive. Like, don't have him be a stalker, or don't have him trying to hit on so many women. Just have him charm a lot of people, but know his boundaries about, you know, when he's going to approach a lady or something like that, and when he's not going to be coming off as rapish or anything like that. And I think they should have done the same thing like they did with Lola Bunny, was try to tweak up her character and make her more relatable to the audience and actually give her a personality instead of having her be eye candy throughout the whole series or anything like that. And Pepe Le Pew is not the first Looney Tunes character to go through this controversy. You guys remember what happened with Speedy Gonzales and what happened with Elmer Fudd? Regarding Elmer Fudd, they had this controversy last year about whether or not Elmer Fudd should need a gun. And I actually covered that last year when it was first announced. And then with Speedy Gonzales, there was that whole issue about how he seems to present a negative stereotypes towards the Hispanic community. So the Looney Tunes franchise has always been going through a lot of controversy. And I'm not that surprised that this franchise went through some more controversy, except I wasn't expecting it to center around Pepe Le Pew, so I was a bit surprised about that. And I'm actually more surprised that there's controversies sprouting up for Space Jam 2, despite the fact that the film hasn't even been released yet. So that's the animated news that happened this week, and tell me in the comments down below, what do you think about the animated news this week? Are you upset that Blue Sky Studios shut down? And what were some of your favorite animated films from Blue Sky Studios? And how do you feel about Lola Bunny's new character design? Do you like her new design? Do you hate her new design? And how do you feel about the situation with Pepe Le Pew? Do you think that he should have been removed from Space Jam 2 and from future Looney Tunes projects? Or do you think that they could have tweaked up his character to make him less offensive to the modern day audience? Please feel free to comment down below. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rowdy's Blog Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later.